Right, we've had a bit of tragedy in the Rover Works fleet. It's not good news for the Streetwise, unfortunately. So I'll spin you around and we'll show you what I'm on about. Right, so here we go, little Streetwise on the ramp. Now I have to start it up to show you. Well, it's not even show you, listen to it. Can you hear it yet? And that is the exhaust blowing. Now, I've welded this exhaust up about 3 or 4 times now on the Flexi and on the Cat. And it just keeps blowing, cracking. Now it's had a recent front box, or a recent centre box and back box. I say recent, it looks like it's been replaced at some point, but it's actually failed again. It's actually rotted through and cracked all the way around the flange. So let's get up in the air. Now, can you see something wrong with this? Great old crack going straight through there. Now, I did say it's had a recent one on here, but I wouldn't say it's that recent. It's been replaced at some point in its life. But yeah, let me show you around the rest of it. So yeah, it's had an aftermarket Cat on it, an aftermarket mid-pipe, don't know what that says on there, and an aftermarket Clarius rear box on it. So yeah, I don't know how long ago this was done, but judging by what it looks like, I'm going to say a few years. Now, I did put in, I've welded the Flexi previously because that cracked on the welds. So I'll put a new, start by welding it up, and that then cracked again. So I put a new Flexi on it, and then it cracked around the Cat. So I had to weld that back up again. So yeah, I think it's time for a new exhaust. Right, so in here should be a new exhaust. Now I've just got the rear box and the centre box, and I haven't gone for a cheap aftermarket equivalent. I've gone for something a little bit more sporty, and I'll tell you the reason why in a little while, but let's get this unboxed anyway, or unbagged. Oh, look at that. Twin pipes. So this is what I've gone with. Now, I didn't want to go stainless steel, although it would only be a couple of more quid to go stainless steel. I didn't want to go too loud. I wanted to keep it fairly stock, but we are going to be engine swapping this car at some point this year, and I have got a ZR160 manifold, which we're going to open up and downpipe. So it's got the larger bore, and obviously we've got the larger bore exhaust as well for the flow more than anything. Now again, I wanted to keep it quite stock in the sense of noise wise, but I want the flow, and without going for a full 160 exhaust, Yeah, which not many of them are available, not the original ones anyway, aftermarket, but again, you've got the smaller bore in the aftermarket stuff. So I've gone for a resonated Sportex exhaust catback, and when we fit the engine, we'll obviously open the manifolds up, and then we'll just have to do a short run from that downpipe, put a nice little sports cat in there, and attach it to the flange there. Now we're not going for all out power, we just wanted to, I might as well just tell you, we're 135 converting the engine, so 1.8 135 engine out of an MGF or TF, and then obviously with the manifold and with this exhaust and a remap, we should be seeing about 145 horsepower. Now again, I don't really want too much power in this. The thing that I'm after is low down grunt and torque. So getting up to speed, coming out of a junction, coming onto a bypass, you know, this thing really struggles with a little 1.4. So hopefully this will see us well along the way to obviously shredding these all season tyres. But let's get the old one off, let's get this one on. We'll do a little before and after rev match, so we say. And yeah, now I'm not 100% sure if this is going to fit properly, because there's two options. There's an MG ZR or a Rover 25. Now obviously the ZR's got the lower spoiler at the bottom of the bumper with the cutout, and the 25 haven't. But this is technically a Rover 25, but I'm hoping that this will be in the right place for that exhaust, but who knows, I ain't got a clue. But if we need to notch this out, we can. Right, let's get this old one off, and then we can start fitting up this new one.
Don't worry, Mr. B. I have a cunning plan to solve the problem.
great success.
Typical. Bloody typical. Right, ladles and jelly spoons, we have now got that exhaust on. It's actually started chucking it down for rain while doing that, typically, you know, middle of summer. But I'll spin you around. Look at that. A quick peek underneath. Now we did have to bend some brackets because they all got knocked in the post, and that centre section do sit a little bit low, but that's going to be as good as it's going to get, unfortunately. And annoyingly enough, it didn't come with any exhaust gaskets, so I'm going to have to order them. I've literally just put some bathroom silicone sealer on the joints, cleaned it all up, put some silicone sealer on it, and it's not leaking at the minute, so I'll order some gaskets anyway, and if it starts leaking we'll do it again. But all I want to do is see if it fit and see if it how it sounds, basically. Right, it's quite close to the bumper. That's literally just touching here and just touching here, and it do so knock and bang about a bit. So I think we are going to have to trim this bumper out a little bit. Now, I'm not sure if that would have made any difference if I'd have got the ZR one or not. I'd say this is the Rover 25 one, but let's start it up and see how it sounds. Hear that old engine tapping away, knocking away, and that's the whole reason why I'm replacing the engine basically. Right, give it a few revs. Now I don't think that's too noisy, but we'll just have to see how it goes. I think I'll take down the road actually and just see how it sounds under load and see how knocky it is on the bumper. But yeah, no, I'm happy with that. As I say, we'll just need to trim the bumpers out a little bit, and then when we get the old engine in, get a manifold on, then we can make a sports cat slash down pipe to connect to the centre box. Right, let's get it down and go for a little road test. Right, you're precariously balanced on my dash at the minute, so if you fall off, I do apologise. At the minute it's not too noisy. Don't worry lads, I saved you. Right, so far it's actually alright, to be fair. It's not ridiculously loud, which I didn't want, and it's not ridiculously drony either. You know, I did get the resonated version, so it's got the resonator in the centre box instead of the race tube they call it, I believe. But yeah, no, it sounds absolutely lovely. I don't know what it sounds like outside the car, but it's not too bad. Puts the foot down, we can hear it burbling along now, but again, it's not stupidly loud. Right, I'm just going to finish this road test off, put you down, so I'm concentrating on the road instead of holding the camera, and we'll catch up when I get back to the workshop. Right, so that's that done then. Road test went okay, sounds alright to be fair. It's not drony at all, it's a little bit louder than what I wanted, but it's okay. I can bear with that, to be fair. Yeah, as I say, just need to order them gaskets, and we still need to trim that exhaust aperture thing out of the bumper a little bit because it is touching. it'll probably melt away and that'll be fine, but there's no knocks or bangs at the minute. So yeah, I think we'll just revisit that when we go to put the engine in, and obviously we'll have to make the cat and downpipe bit up when we put the engine in. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Now I could have went for a stainless steel version from Cybox, I think they're called. It was only probably another 30 or 40 quid, but the whole idea of this is trying to be a little bit OEM, and I think the stainless will be a little bit too raspy and tinny, where the mild steel is, it absorbs the sound a bit better, makes it more burbly, makes it a little bit more a nicer sound, I think anyway. But that's the whole reason for going for a Sportex system. Yeah, so I think we'll end this video off here. I'll just spin you around and then zoom you in. But yeah, I think that looks alright. It's bloody peeing down rain again, and it's not hanging dreadfully low either. Probably about the same sort of height as the rear axle is. So yeah, no, I'm happy with that. So yeah, again, chucking it down with rain. So we'll end it off here, and yeah, stay tuned for the next installment, which is going to be, I'll probably stick on the wings and stuff first, wings and wheel arches, because they'll rot through, and the side skirt bits, and we still need to build up a 135 engine. So I've taken the head off the blue turbo project with the knackered bottom end, and I've got the old race engine from 2023, which is the red block. If you scroll back to some of the previous videos, I built up that engine 3 or 4 years ago now, probably not 3 or 4, 2 or 3 years ago. So we're gonna take that out. I've got pistons and rods to go in it, just need some liners, 135 head, and that'll be the 135 engine that we're gonna stick in the Streetwise. So yeah, again, I'll leave it off here, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.